nothing more than to sit in the shade of the weeping willow tree on the bank of a river and fish all day long. And something about the way the branches rustled the water that seemed to attract the fish to the tree, making them very easy for Taro-san to catch. So that's why he loved to fish so much, and he decided at a very early age that when he grew up, he would become a professional fisherman. Well, the years passed, the day arrived, he decided that it was time for him to buy himself a boat, which he did. And he set sail on the ocean, looking for a good spot to fish. He found what he thought would be a good spot and cast out his net, but it came back empty. He went to another spot, he cast it out again, but again it came up empty. Hey, I know that guy. Thanks for coming. Right. So he was getting very frustrated because every time he cast out his net, the first day, the second day, the first week, the second week, it was always empty. So he decided he was almost ready to give up on his lifelong dream, but before he did, he decided to make a voyage, a pilgrimage, to the sacred island of Miyajima off the eastern coast of Japan, which is home to some of Japan's largest and most sacred Shinto shrines. And as he got closer, he could see the roof of the largest shrine getting larger and larger as he got closer and closer. When he got closer still, at the mouth of the harbor, he saw the very famous Otori Gate that marks the entrance to the harbor. But before he could reach the harbor and anchor his boat, he had to sail his boat under the very long extension bridge that connects one side of the harbor to the other. He did that, he anchored his boat, he went to the shrine, but he didn't enter the shrine because what he was looking for was just outside the shrine. It was a well, and we would probably call it a wishing well, because what he did next was he took a piece of special parchment paper and his calligraphy brush, and he painted the Chinese characters, the kanji, for his wish to be a successful professional fisherman. And then he dropped the parchment into the well. There was a bell hanging over the well and a log hanging next to it. He took the log and he struck the bell once, twice, 3 times to summon his ancestors, to let them know he had left this request for their help behind. Then he went back to the harbor, got back in his boat, set sail for the mainland. But when he looked over his shoulder at the island of Miyajima, over the shrine, he saw a large and beautiful rainbow, which he took as an omen, as a sign that his ancestors had heard and would respond to his plea for their help. And sure enough, when he got close to the mainland, standing on the shore, he saw an old man fishing. In fact, the man was reeling in a fish at that very moment. He thought, this man has been sent to me by my ancestors to share with me the secret of being a successful professional fisherman. So he got out of his boat, he introduced himself to the man, invited him to dinner. They found the sign of the nearest noodle shop. And after ordering, the old fisherman said, tell me, Taro-san, what is the name of your boat? Taro-san said, well, it's brand new, it doesn't have a name yet. There's your problem, said the old fisherman. A boat without a name will never catch any fish, because when the fish look up through the water, what do they see? A fishing boat. That frightens them away. If you get the boat a name, it will change what they see. If you give your boat a proper name, it will actually attract to the boat, making them easier for you to catch. Instantly, Taro-san thought he had the perfect name for his boat. He rushed out of the restaurant, he went to his boat, he took his calligraphy brush, and on the bow of the boat, he painted the 3 Chinese characters, the kanji, for the name that he had decided upon. He was so excited, he didn't even wait for the paint to dry. Even though it was just after midnight, he got in his boat, set sail on the ocean, sailing east. And a few hours later, when he looked to the horizon to the east, he saw the sun rising in a clear blue sky, and he took that as another omen, as a sign that this would be the perfect spot for him to cast out his net for the first time in his newly named boat. And that's exactly what he did. And this time, unlike the many times before where his net had always come back empty, this time when he reeled in his net, he found that it had in it the largest fish that he had ever caught. In fact, that turned out not to be a coincidence. It actually happened each and every time he cast out his net all day long, so that at the end of the day, he was a little worried he might have trouble sailing his boat home. It was so low in the water from the many fish he caught. But as he did safely sail it into the harbor, he decided to hang 2 special flags from his bow. One to honor his ancestors, who he felt had sent to him, the old fisherman, and the other one, of course, to honor the old fisherman, who had shared with him the secret of giving his boat a proper name. Now, I haven't told you the name he gave it, but maybe you can guess from the story. Do you remember how, as a boy, he used to sit in the shade of the weeping willow tree, and something about the way the branches rustled the water that would attract the fish to the tree, making them easy for Taro-san to catch? That's what he named his boat, so that now when the fish looked up through the water, they no longer saw a fishing boat that frightened them away. What they saw attracted them to the boat, made them easy for Taro-san to catch, because to them, it now looked just like a weeping willow tree.